Hi there guys, what's up? It's Joe, welcome back to my channel. Now today's quite an exciting day because I get to bring you guys something that I know that you've been asking for from me for a really long time now, and it's gameplay footage. Because I've been building up a small player base in my hometown in Colchester, it's been great to finally have people to play with again because I haven't been able to for quite a long time. And you guys never get to see me play, so this game here is me playing Wind and Earth against Alexander Polley, who is playing Wind Water Chocobos. Now, my turn one play here, as you can see, is a semi-Lafina, which is always a great start. And unfortunately with the footage you have here, you can't see our hands very well, but you have to forgive me as this, the footage isn't perfect, it's not great, it's not amazing, it's not like professional quality, but it's the best I can make with what I have. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And then I can, turn aside because I'm watching the game as you guys are, and I can give you guys commentary. Now, my play here is pretty ideal for an Earth Wind deck, which is Semi-Lafina going into Star Sibyl, and then I searched for Moogle because I wanted to try and establish back row as quickly as I could, and Star Sibyl being able to search for Moogle is a really strong play. And then discarding Barbarisha just to get it straight out, just because I want the 3 backups, because I know that if Alex hasn't gone turn 1 Izana, I can start, establishing a board quickly, because I'm going to need it in the late game in order to deal with something. Now, Alex plays Andoria here, who honestly is a card that I'm sure a lot of us wrote off when we started, when she came out in Opus 5, I believe, possibly 6. But honest to God, she puts in some work. Like, she does a lot in this deck, as you'll see. And then an Adele comes in and swings at me, and there's no EX burst. But I mean, you can't see that point of damage, unfortunately, unless you were quick on the mark as I was putting in there, because there's a bit of glare on there. So I do apologise for that. And then I match with my own Adele. I did actually change my Wind Earth deck slightly from the deck list that I posted last week, because I honestly just wanted to get the Hope Engine out of there. I hated it. It's bad, don't play it. So I ended up running, I put Chaos Walker the Wheel back in, I put Hecaton from set 1 back in, and then I put Adele in as well. So Diablos has gone to Break Zone. What are we playing now? So, like I said, with Andoria, honestly, the second that Chocobos start coming in with haste and attacking, you kind of value the draw a card more than getting the extra point of damage in, because you can maintain your momentum, and it does a lot in this deck. You'll notice in Alex's Break Zone that he's got Opus 3 Zidane in there. I think that he doesn't own 3 copies of Opus 6 Zidane, otherwise he would be playing that. I would lend him mine, but they're in my deck, so I can't. Chocobo Knight comes down, searches for Fat Chocobo, I believe was what he searched for. And then that's going to come straight down, I believe. Yeah, and then that's going to give haste. I don't know if he plays which Chocobo he plays here, but I think he goes in order to draw a card from Andoria. Yeah, it's the haste Chocobo, and I think he'll go in with Adele and the Chocobo in order just to draw a card, because I have no defenses, so that's the thing in and of itself. And then cutting decks, etc. I make actually quite a few mistakes in this game, and it's something that I wanted to point out. Yeah, there we go, party attack, and it's a Cactuar that goes over. And then Alex draws a card thanks to Andoria. But yeah, I do make a few mistakes in this game, and I can point them out as and when I remember which ones they are. I think I searched for the wrong things a couple of times. But, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. It's one of those things. So discarding so we're going in with Shantotto straight away, just because at the end of the day, I played Shantotto there because I knew that I was getting a lot more of an advantage. He's already used Fat Chocobo. I'm only losing 1 guy. I didn't really want to pay into... I could have paid into Adele, in all fairness, and just gotten the extra point of damage in, but I didn't... Then that would have caused me to discard an extra card, and I didn't really want to. So there's my hand. Wall, Star Sibyl, and Chaos. So, I mean, Star Sibyl isn't particularly useful at this moment, but obviously having it in my hand means that it means that I can break my current Star Sibyl, and I still have 3 backups out in order to pay for the next one, because Semi-Lafina makes it cost 3 instead of 5. So that's just a really solid thing to have. And I'm sitting there on 4 backups, which is great. So I'm breaking Star Sibyl. Is it for Cannon Lord? I think it's... No, it's for Shadow Lord. I think it was just so that I could get the search down. Shadow Lord, I tell you what, is one of those cards that has really improved in the past couple of days, mainly because of the meta that's based around it. Oh yeah, I searched for a wall there, thinking that I'm searching for, I don't know why, it was a complete mistake. I think in my head I'd searched for a Moogle and then searched for wall, but I hadn't, so I was totally cheating there. So I get the Moogle instead, and then I made a mistake there. But yeah, Shadow Lord is one of those cards that honestly has been really improved in my books recently. I love the card. It deals with so many different things. Scions, it deals with Eda. Ice, it deals with Thaumaturge and Squall. It deals with loads and loads of different things, and I just really like the card. Fire, it deals with loads of the hasty attackers. I really like it, and it being a brave attacker, and it being in combination with things like Dadaluma, Cactuar, that kind of deck, which this is one of those decks. It can actually, like the 2000 damage that comes from Shadow Lord every time he attacks, can actually be really relevant. Okay, so Izana's coming down and searching for the Chocobo that gives haste. So I imagine that's going to get played, and then I forget, but I think that Izana and Zidane party attack, because I think Zidane is powered up at this point. I'll tell you what, while this game is going on actually, I'll tell you, I've been experimenting with title format recently, and honestly, I'm really enjoying it. I've been playing with the Final Fantasy 13 title deck, and I really love it, and I hope that, I'm so glad to see that it's getting a lot of support recently, like official support. Oh no, sorry, the Hasty Chocobo comes down, he still has that one, and then he gets another draw off of Andoria. Yeah, no, FF13 title format I'm really enjoying at the moment, purely because like Snow and Sarah just do so much together, and it's really cool. So, I mean, if you haven't played title format yet, I encourage you guys to go and try it. I'll be making some videos on it in the near future, so hopefully that'll encourage you guys to give it a shot as well. So yeah, as I said, I take point damage. Like, I think at that point when I'm tapping at the Andoria, it's me sitting there going, hey, this card's actually really good in this deck. Because it's one of those cards that I just never even thought about playing, like, ever. But honestly, it's just a really solid card. I've been very impressed with it. And the arc being there is obviously very solid. Oh, the Warrior of Light in the break zone, like when Alex showed me the deck, I kind of contested it being there, but I wasn't particularly sure about it. So, but that being said, it's only one of in the deck, and it can, like, if you've already got a board established, it can be the difference between a win and a loss, so I can understand why it's there. So Chaos has come over from EX Burst, and the camera's shaking a little bit. But I think that, I can't remember whether this is used to, I think he's considering blowing up my Shadow Lord, but he's not sure about, no, he decides against it. So yes, Star Symbol corrects down and goes into a Cecil. I blew up that Chocobo purely because of the party attacking power buff, and I don't really want any more draws coming off of Andoria. So, you know, Cecil's another card that I think has been seeing a lot of play since Opus 6, purely because I think that EX Burst breaker forward abilities, so your Odins, your Atomos, your Cecil, anything that like that, it has been getting a lot of play recently because it can help ward off aggro and it allows you to get to your mid game, late game. I think it makes a huge difference. That being said, Cecil's a good card anyway, and I think at one point in this game I don't grab, I think I used Moogle to search for something else, and I should have grabbed Cecil and used his S ability while I was still on 5 damage, but I think that's a fair bit later on. Because I don't know why I didn't do that, but what are we playing now? Oh, there you go. This is the FF Tactics Chocobo, which is the largest Chocobo. So it's just something there. And then Ishtola, who's always a pain in the backside. And again, I do apologise because there's a little bit of shake in the camera. I think sometimes, because I'm using the same camera that I use here, the tripod that I use here with a very unstable looking webcam over the top of it. I think I'm trying to coax Ishtola into doing something. Oh, okay, yeah. I wanted to try and coax Ishtola into doing something, but I didn't work, and the Varn came down, which is a problem. I think I can deal with the Varn, I don't remember at this point. But the Light Varn is a card that I really want to love, but I think that unless you have a way of giving him haste, which a Chocobo deck does, he's very lackluster, but there are lots of ways to give him haste these days. Fire has Goblin and Sage, Lightning has Red Mage. There's plenty of ways to do it. There we go, yeah, I used Cecil on Ishtola this time, but I think that there's another. I don't know why I did it then either. That probably wasn't the best time for me to do that. I probably should have waited until his turn, because then I would have left my options open. One of the great things about Cecil as well is that he can use his S ability while he's dull, and I didn't take advantage of that, so I was a bit stupid, to be honest. But I can get attacks in without a problem, because I don't think that Varn is going to block me, and I can start pushing forwards. I think that... Oh, I remember now. I think I searched for Hecaton instead of Cecil when I should have searched for Cecil, because the third one is still in my deck. But you know, we'll get to that shortly. But Aliak, I thought that Aliak would be useful just because it will make Zidane weaker when he attacks. Liak is just a decent card, although there's been spoilers from Opus 7 that like are showing hate towards the 1 CP monsters, so Quirl I think it is specifically, which can break 1 CP monsters just by discarding it from your hand, and that I really like. I think it's a really great card, but I think that that kind of mechanic when it comes to spoilers for Opus 7 is dangerous, and that you have to, you know, if it gets too strong it can be really problematic. Oh yeah, here we go, that's right, Cloud of Darkness comes down, which is like, this board is quite scary at this point. My Shadow Lord is down. Or do I, no, I think I try and kill something in response. Yes, I do. Search for, no? Chaos, yeah, that's right. I don't know why I've killed my Shadow Lord there, he only has 3 guys. See, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes when you make these plays, you sit there and you're like, hold on, what am I doing? But hey ho. When you put games on a camera, I tell you what, I must admit, the pressure, even though, like, I mean, obviously this is just a channel, this is just for a bit of fun, and it's just to like show people stuff, but when you put your games on a camera, whether it's through stream at a tournament or something like this, sometimes you sit there and go, oh, you know, you play off sometimes. I know I do, and I'm not making excuses. That was a blatant mistake in my on my part, but it's like, I think it can happen to anybody. So yeah, I think I searched for a Hecaton here when I should have searched for Cecil, because I could have just used the Cecil on one of the guys attacking, which would have broken it, and then I could have blocked the other, and that would have killed it. Yeah, that was the mistake. Because by searching for Hecaton, I realised after finding it that if I had used it on Izana or Zidane, blocking the other one would have then made it so that I wouldn't have been able to, like, Cecil wouldn't survive the fight, whereas if I'd searched for Cecil, it would have been fine. So there's some misplays on my part there. I'm gonna grab my own Ishtola. I mean, the Wind Ishtola is just good. Like, it's a safeguard. When you're in the late game, playing one of these can just save you and just, like, give you the win instantly. It's just because your opponent can't do anything to answer it, and I think that it's really important that you have answers like that in your deck. So I think that she's just a shoo-in for any Wind deck, realistically. But as I said, like, every time Alex party attacks or goes to party attack, you've got to think he's going to draw a card if he hits me, or he's just going to get something out of it. It's like, it puts you, like, that 2 CP water backup puts you in such a bad position, and I'm genuinely very impressed with it. And like, it's just gaining him cards. Like, he's drawing a 3rd card every turn, and it's like really good, especially when you're playing like Cloud of Darkness as well, and you need a board presence beforehand. You obviously need the cards to be able to pay for a board presence like that, so it's really strong. Cloud of Darkness herself is just amazing as well. I've always really liked Cloud of Darkness. She's got to be one of Water's strongest cards. I think that where I'm pointing at the Cecil, yeah, this is me realising that I should have searched for Cecil, but never mind. First time for everything, you know. I was like, oh, you know, like I said, this is the first gameplay footage I've been able to put up for well, ever, I think, for Final Fantasy. But I can't promise how often videos like this are going to happen. I'm hoping that it's going to be more frequent, but obviously it depends on other people being available to play with, because, you know, you guys sitting there watching me play 2 sides of the same table probably isn't going to be all that interesting. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that, or enjoy what we've got. so far. Zidane, this Zidane I think is really, really amazing in the early game. Late game, I've been less impressed by it, but in all fairness, because Chaos broke something and pulled something else back down, it means that he's lost advantage in a risk that you know, maybe Chaos wasn't the best play there, but I can see why he did that, because he wants to push. And I think, yeah, that's the end of the game, I believe. Yeah, Leviathan, it's not going to save him, and then that's the 7th damage. So yes, despite the fact that I made some very, very silly mistakes there, I did actually win that game, purely because I think that the power levels of my guys were just that much higher than Alex's. Chocobos need to get a really early push. If they get an early push, there are very few decks that can combat that level of aggression. But I mean, there are some other decks that I really want to kind of show you guys as well in the future. Stuff like Turbo Discard Ice, because I think that there's a lot of myths around that deck, and I think that having played a lot of it at X-Burst and a lot of other people with it recently, I think that it is kind of something that needs to be shown off, because I think that people need to know how to combat it, but the fact is that it can be combated. If you're up against it, there are things that you can do. But that's not the only deck. As I said, I'm going to do some videos on title format. I'm really enjoying that at the moment, and I hope that you guys have really enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There's plenty more videos where this is coming from, you know, for Final Fantasy TCG, Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, and some other bits coming up as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll speak to you guys soon. See you later.